going into the last week of the regular season, we have 5 teams vying for 4 playoff spots. And even the teams that are locked into the playoffs, their seeds are not set. We recap some thrilling Week 6 action and look ahead to Week 7 and beyond right now on Pokemon Center. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pokemon Center, the show dedicated to keeping you up to date on everything happening around the GSPL. I'm joined by Justice of the Sacramento Kingdras.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Justice, and it's just me and you today.
It is.
Yeah, everyone it just didn't work out. Which that's okay. Yeah. It'll be okay. Maybe we'll finally have like a reasonably short episode this time. Some of them have been like an hour and a half. Oh man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the last one I didn't think was going to be that long, but we spent like 35 minutes or something talking about the Mon. Yeah, that took a long time. Yeah. Well, anyways, the schedule for today is pretty similar to what it always is. Mons/games that stood out to us from Week 6. Transactions that happened this week, we have 2. The upcoming games, and then we're just going to break down, I don't actually think this will take that long, but we're going to break down like who makes the playoffs depending on what happens. And I think I've got it right, but we will find out. All right, are you ready?
Already.
All right, well, let's jump right into then the games. So if we go over here to Week 6, we had the Thunderous versus the Monfernos. Yeah, it was a pretty... pretty one-sided. The Monfernos did get one Mon. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Sorry, go ahead.
The Monfernos got one Mon. They got Corsola with the Hydro Pump there. I was actually surprised that killed also. But I wonder, I don't know, maybe he's specially invested in his for Alligator? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I'd imagine so. He brings Hydro Pump, I think, I want to say every single time.
Okay.
So I'd hope he has some special attack investment in there.
Yeah. Also, knockoff, probably more important leading to Corsola's death was the knockoff from the Venusaur. I didn't even know it learned knockoff.
Yeah, you don't ever see it because Venusaur likes to be special, but yeah, I mean, any Pokemon that learns knockoff is going to be it's always going to be a possibility. Yeah, I think I had completely forgot that it learned knockoff too.
Yeah, definitely surprised me. Still had a pretty good game, if I remember right, the Corsola did. Where is it? It is... Did I do this wrong? Thunderous versus Monroe. Oh, there they are. Yeah, he still had 155 damage. Actually led his team in damage. Just a weird game too. Like, I was looking at like the overall damage numbers, and like the Thunderous only did 543. But part of that is because the Feraligatr and the Venusaur struggled a total of 5 times or something like that, or 4 times. So like that's 100 damage off right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dragonite continues to just be like force a lot of like it's hard to actually 6-0 the Monfernos, just because like it feels like a Dragonite outrage always like somehow leads to a kill one way or the other.
Yeah, it's always. I feel like it's almost always a 2-hit KO. You know, if you don't bring a Fairy type and you don't bring Steel type, then Outrage is just gonna kind of destroy.
Which Austin actually has neither. He doesn't have a dragon or a Steel or a Fairy. So, or no, he does have one Fairy. I'm sorry, I forgot. He has the. I always forget that this thing is a Fairy. Yeah, the Whimsicott. It's a Whimsicott. Yeah. It's a fake Fairy. It dies too easy to everything else.
Not the best defensive Pokemon, but
no.
it's a really good utility mon. I'm surprised we haven't seen.
It is.
We haven't seen it too much more.
It came once, and it was actually Austin called it MVP of the game, even though it did no damage, simply because it got a tailwind off that saved him from the cloister. Yeah,
I remember that. That was the time he beat Zeke, the undefeated team.
Did.
Actually, he's beat.
He does pretty well against undefeated teams.
Yeah. So, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I remember in my game with Austin, I saw that the previous week he had brought Tailwind, and so I didn't get a chance to use it, but I brought Trick Room on my Sigalith that week.
Oh, very cool.
Just so that, in case Whimsicott came, I could just click Trick Room and, just kind of reverse the rolls right there. So
yeah, that would have been sweet to see.
Yeah, it's definitely a Pokemon that you gotta worry about with that Prankster Tailwind, and it can also just.
I mean, there's some mons that just lose to like Leech Seed Substitute. He'll just beat a lot of mons that way, or especially if he can T-Wave him on the switch and then like keep subbing until he gets the full para, and then he can Leech Seed, and then I don't know, it just he becomes a nightmare.
Very, very annoying Pokemon.
For sure. But I guess that has nothing to do with this actual game. But I don't know. 5-0. I don't know. Anything else before we move on to your game?
No, not too much. Not too much worth note. I think it was. I thought it was entertaining to watch, but again, that Dragonite is always a little bit of a troublemaker.
Yeah. And it is for sure. And you actually, it says here Kingdras versus Monfernos, but it was the Kingdras versus the Bidoofs that you played. I don't know. What did you think of that game? Like, how did you feel about it? I don't know. Did it go as planned? What happened?
It didn't go exactly as planned, but I am perfectly fine with the way it ended up. Mm-hmm. I was not planning on setting up and sweeping with Durant.
Yeah,
that's what ended up happening, and I was expecting a different lead than Greninja, but I don't know. I was kind of expecting to see a Focus Sash there. But I was like,
from the Greninja.
If this thing's not Focus Sashed and I don't miss, this thing dies to a first impression. So,
your hustle. That's why. Never mind.
Yeah. So, and so that was its first kill, and then I forget who got the second kill.
Gosh. Oh, it looks like Dragapult has just a clean 100 there, so I'm assuming him.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, did it? Oh, that's right. It one shot something with Shadow Ball. What?
Victini, maybe?
Victini, yeah. It killed Victini with Shadow Ball. I was thinking Azelf, and I was like, no, that's Zeke's.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. It looks like you.
Yeah. Okay.
The Victini. Yep. And I mean, so what? Durant killed 5, right?
Yeah, Durant got 5 kills in the game.
Pretty impressive.
Especially for discount Scizor.
Yeah, was it tier 3, I think?
Tier 4.
Oh, tier 4. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely playing above, or at least that game it played above its tier.
Oh, for sure.
I love Durant, and actually after that game, I think I've decided that Durant's my favorite bug type.
Okay.
I think before it was Scizor, but I don't know. Just having it in the draft and having it do really well that game, might be a little premature, but...
No, I get it. The whole reason I love Togekiss, and the whole reason is because of draft. He did really well in the draft league for me, so I get it. He's my favorite fairy. It's your favorite bug.
Yeah.
On the other side, I don't know. He didn't really get anything going. His Gyarados was completely shut out, which we haven't seen happen yet. Nothing did more than 50 damage. Yeah.
I mean, could have definitely just set up a couple Dragon Dances or even one and put my team in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that happen. Yeah, because I remember there was a couple times when you protected, and if he could have like predicted that protect or something, a Dragon Dance could have picked him up a kill or two at least.
Yeah, and it was. I was like, there were definitely a couple times where I was like, I was feeling pretty good, and then he clicked Dragon Dance after I had like switched or something, and I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
For some reason he switched or clicked the wrong move, or, whatever, and just ended up going in my favor.
Yeah. 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 Man. Well, all right. Moving right along, we had what were the other games? Who did Harrison play this week? I guess we can actually go. We can talk about your brother versus Zeke. That was a pretty close game.
That was a good game. I liked that one.
Yeah.
They definitely made some. They each made some, pretty easy mistakes there.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I was like, "What are you doing?" But yeah,
like when a Zelf was against the Ice Cube, it could have avoided those Fire Blast misses. Now that was really unfortunate.
Double Fire Blast miss. Yeah, big.
Yeah,
big,
and then flinched right after to the Icicle Crash. Survived with a Focus Sash and then flinched the Icicle Crash. That was just the nail in the coffin. That really sucked. But Zelf definitely could have avoided that by just clicking Psychic, because that definitely would have broken the sub. Mm-hmm. And then the HP it was at, it would have a second Psychic would have killed as well. So
yeah. I mean, to me, the biggest thing was I have no idea why on earth. Well, I don't know if Drapion had a poison move, but if he had a poison move, I was like, what are you doing, my dude? Like, click Poison Jab and you win this game 2-0. And, like...
You win.
Yeah.
Damn. When I saw him click Knockoff on the Mew switch, first of all, I was like... I forget what it was, but I was like... No, never mind. So... When he clicked Knockoff on the Mew switch, I was like, that was a good read. But then he clicked it on Togekiss again, and I was like, I don't know if he was...
I was like, I don't know. And then...
Banded or what that was. It didn't seem like banded damage, but...
Yeah. And then the Garchomp also... So, like, I don't know, like, what... I don't know. Like, Roar is a fine move on Garchomp in that you can, like, but considering he's like Sword Stance Garchomp, who I'm guessing his plan was to try to sweep things, I think you just want some kind of coverage there over the Roar. Because, like, Rock Slide would have won you the game, too. And, I mean...
Rock Slide, Poison Jab, or Iron Head, Garchomp, all of those, and all of those hit Togekiss super effectively.
Yep. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. And especially, like, Garchomp was like a really good chance for him to sweep too, because he naturally outspeeds everything on the team, other than Ice Cube after he breaks his. Something else that caught my eye as I watched this game is how important rocks are. So Blissey died turn 11 of a 32-turn game, and she led the game in damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just from rocks. That's crazy.
Just from rocks. I mean, you look at his team, though. His team isn't super... I mean, Ice Cube and Togekiss don't love rocks.
Right.
So... Yeah,
I mean, he had a couple rock resists also. He had Metagross and Crocodile.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see here a lot of these all these basically like from here on or whatever after he dies. These are all like taking rocks, and it just did so much damage. Led the game in damage. And so I don't know. It is what it is, I guess, but.
Yeah,
Bring
I think
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I thought Roar was, I probably wouldn't have brought it on Garchomp, but it ended up working out. I forget.
It saved him from stored power.
Yeah. And so I don't know if that was the plan to just phase him out.
Yeah.
But if it, if that's why he specifically brought Roar, then, I definitely give him props for that, because,
I think when you have Drapion, you're not that scared of Mew. I don't know, especially that specific Mew, because that Mew also doesn't get to run a lot of coverage. I mean, I think last time it ran like Roost, Heal Bell, I guess we didn't see the last move, but because it has to run Roost basically, and it has to run Cosmic Power, and then it's running Sword Power. So, but yeah.
So I suppose you're right. Yeah, just having a Dark type is, definitely going to be a good option against Mew, especially after Gabe ran that set. I forget, what was that, week 2, week 1?
I think it was week 2. I believe it was week 2.
Yeah. So after running that, it's definitely something you got to worry about. Make sure your team doesn't lose to +6 defense special defense.
I wonder how well Blissey fights that. Like Blissey, I don't know. Like if Blissey just runs Toxic, like I don't think he lives long enough to do like if you just switch in your Blissey on the stored power or on the setup, click Toxic, and then I don't know if he kills you fast enough. You would what?
You would get Toxic to yourself because it's synchronized, but then Blissey could switch out.
Yep, that's what I say. Because especially like if he's just going to sit there and click stored power, Cosmic Power over and over again, you'd have time to switch out and then switch back in again with your Blissey. So I don't know.
That's true.
I think his team was pretty like well equipped even without Roar to deal with that.
Sure,
but oh well. It is what it is, and now we have kind of a fun playoff scenario because of it. But anyways, yeah. So the last game was the Mudkips versus the Metagross. Gosh, I'm having a hard time even remembering this game. What happened in this game? Yes. Go ahead.
No. Sorry. I'm just taking a look at the game as well. Looks like Excadrill had a huge game. Man,
Excadrill was unstoppable that game.
Oh man,
it was crazy. Like he just kept he lived. Like look at how much damage he took. He took well over 100 damage just off of. He just kept. He spent a lot of time like getting leftovers recovery.
That's right. Yeah, he brought leftovers on the Excadrill, which is not terribly common.
No, but it really let him live a long time.
Yeah, that definitely helped him out because took 164, so he would have died a long time before he would have been able to do a lot of that damage that he ended up dealing.
Yeah, no, for sure. He definitely lived longer than he was expected to. And yeah, I mean, that was really like it. Arctozolt had a pretty good run there. I thought he might pull off a sweep. But he ended up, gosh, I forget the exact scenario, but I remember he switched him out and I was almost like, I was almost surprised he switched him out, but I don't remember what it was. The Virizion had a good game. I remember thinking like, this Virizion's putting in the work right now. He had a really good prediction from the Excadrill to the Noivern. He clicked Stone Edge and got the kill. I remember
that was a really good play.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. And then, I mean, Chansey continues to just kind of be like a brick wall, but eventually she fell too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. It's, Chansey's a strong Pokemon, but, especially with all the strong physical attackers on Harrison's side, it's going to be breaking through that a little bit easier.
Yep. I was also really surprised that this Quillfish was the Spike set. I don't know. I thought this would be the more offensive sweeper version, but I was wrong.
Right. Yeah. Especially because there was no Kingdra this week.
Right. So I thought, I was like, oh, maybe he just thinks the Quillfish lines up better. I mean, it hits Ninetales better. So that's what I was thinking, or I don't know.
Then again, I think Ninetales drops to. If you
I'm
set
sure
up,
it does.
I'm sure it drops to a waterfall or a surf ride.
Yeah, in the rain.
In the rain.
It is pretty decent special defense, so I could see it living on the special side, but yeah, it probably wouldn't live like a +1 waterfall or something. But so the Quillfish though was like this. I'd like to hear what his set was. I don't know what it was, but it was like toxic spikes, and it had gosh, what is that move? Perish Song, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Or Destiny Bond, maybe. What was it? Was it Destiny Bond? Maybe it was Destiny Bond.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. Quillfish. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was thinking. Not Perish Song, but Destiny Bond was it was very interesting. It's sad that it didn't end up panning out, but at the same time, I was surprised that, especially I thought that was a mistake there because he still had his Focus Sash active. Hit a move that would have
that. Yeah, that's funny. Oh man,
it wouldn't have ended up working out. So
how does that work in? Does the Mon have to kill you? Because, like, for example, what if it died to sand damage?
I don't know. I don't know how passive damage works with that. Like, well, actually, you know what? I would imagine it probably doesn't work because I'm thinking about something like Life Orb Recoil or something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that wouldn't be a factor because you'd be clicking Destiny Bond and not an attack.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know. Unless, I guess I'd have to read the exact wording of is it just if this Pokemon dies, the opponent's Pokemon across the field dies, or is it that Mon has to kill you? I don't know. But go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just watching this game back, and I was wrong. The Focus Sash was not activated. I don't know why I thought it was Focus Sash, but I just watched the game, and it looks like it was at 89% when you clicked Destiny Bond.
Oh, okay. Great.
I take it back, and I'm sorry, Trevor, for doubting you.
As you should be. But yeah, okay. So those are kind of all the games. I don't know. I think we covered them all. I think all the Mons that stood out, we said something about. What did you say? Oh, you think so? Yep. So we had 2 transactions this week.
We did.
We had one of them was yours, so I guess you can speak to it. We'll start off with that one. It was the Sigilif for Sandslash.
Yes, which was something you had suggested and something that I had been thinking about for a long time.
Yeah.
Just because I really liked having Sigilif because it's another ground immunity, and so far I only have on my team I only have 1, and then 1 resist.
Yeah, Tangrowth, yeah, sure.
So yeah, my team's fairly weak to ground, and so I liked having that ground immunity. But it's just I didn't see myself bringing it so often that I just looked at the potential playoff matchups and my following matchups, and I just saw that Sigilif didn't really match up too well. Especially being a psychic type, there's not actually a whole ton of poison or fighting types.
Yeah, fighting is very underrepresented in our league, I think.
Yeah, and especially in the playoffs, I don't know if we have hardly any. There might be a couple of maybe 1 or 2 between poison and fighting, not including my Crobat.
Well, you don't need to worry about killing that. I guess you might if you're playing Ditto.
That's true. Yeah, something to worry about. But I think I would have other answers to Crobat. But yeah. As much as it pains me to let Sigilif go, because I definitely think it's a really strong Pokemon, and I think in any other league it might have done much better. I might have brought it much more frequently, and I don't know. I just think it would have performed better. But for the team that I'm matching, or the league that I'm matching up against right now, I think Sand Slash is much better. It gives me a Sand Rush user, which I definitely needed. Well, actually, I'll say I love Tyranitar, and I think it's strong enough to bring it on its own without having to rely on bringing an Excadrill or a Sand Rush user or whatever.
I agree,
but I think having some sort of weather synergy is really strong, and Sand Slash gets access to a lot of really good moves. Gets Swords Dance, Knockoff, Rapid Spin, obviously. Looks like Leech Life too, which is not like the best move in the game, but it's good for a little bit of recovery if I have a matchup that deems it worthy. Learns Spikes and Stealth Rock.
Yep.
So it could be a really good hazard setter. And yeah, it's fairly bulky on the physical side as well. Doesn't hit super hard, but then that can be augmented by Sword Stance, and Life Board, Choice Band. Yeah,
it gets great coverage moves. You're right. Like, I mean, it's got Brick Break, it's got Knockoff. It actually, if you're not as interested, well, never mind. I mean, Leech Life is 80 now that I think about it, but it's got Poison Jab for fairies. It's got Shadow Claw, I guess. It's got the Stone Edge. So
if ever there was a need.
Yeah. Hey, you never know what you're playing, right? Maybe you're playing I don't know who's got a ghost. I guess in the playoffs, Harrison has a ghost type.
Yep, he's got Cofagrigus, which he has not brought yet, which is shocking to me because I think Cofagrigus is a really strong Pokemon.
Yeah, he's actually. It's funny. I was looking it over the other day, and he's one of the he's brought some of the least amount of Pokemon. There's still 4 Mons on his current team that haven't been brought. Though in his defense, I guess one of them was just dropped. But yeah. No, I think this is a good pick. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the other tier 4 Sand Rushers were. I think you said you were looking at one of their Mon, right?
Yes. I was also looking at Lycanroc, and I think Lycanroc is really strong. And then I was asking my wife about it. I was like, hey, which one do you like better? Because she doesn't know anything about Pokemon, but I was just like, which one do you like better? And then she looked at Lycanroc and she was like, well, that one's a furry. And I was like, oh, why'd you tell me that? And so that was that was one of the factors. I kind of like Lycanroc's design, but I was like, oh, I really don't like the fact that it does kind of look like that. But
it actually has a really good move pool too, though.
In the stark contrast to itself in Generation 7, where I think its only coverage move was like Crunch or something.
Oh yeah, no, it's got a lot.
Yeah, now it gets Play Roughs and Headbutt,
Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Fire Fang, I guess. Like, why not?
Close
Combat, yeah.
It's a really strong move. And then the most important thing, I think without this, I wouldn't have really considered it over Sand Slash, but it's Accelerock.
Yeah, for sure.
Priority rock type move.
Yeah.
Which is a really, really strong move. And so that's what made it a really, really big contender for me.
Yeah.
But I think, I just think Sand Slash is better. It's bulkier. I will not say it's better because I'm sure if you're playing through whatever tiers on Smogon, I think Lycanroc's would be a better Pokemon. I just meant that works better with my team, I would say, is probably Sand Slash. I like having another ground type. Now I have the potential to have 3 electric immunities.
Yeah. You also, you didn't actually have, unless I'm mistaken, you didn't actually have access to Rapid Spin before.
That's true. Yeah. I only had a couple defog users. I had Crobat and Comfey, and I was looking at Dragapult. I don't think Dragapult fits defog, but
let's find out. I'll look right now. Defog. It does not. Too bad it doesn't get Poltergeist, right? Like, imagine how much better.
I know. It would be so much better. And I don't know. I definitely would be running physical Dragapult more often.
Yeah, which you haven't yet, right? Didn't we just talk about this? Haven't you not, or only once or something?
No, yeah, I considered bringing it last week, but then, or no. No, never mind. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I definitely want to bring physical Dragapult at some point. But I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Well,
but yeah, you never know. And definitely Rapid Spin is a better hazard removal option than
for sure. Yeah.
Than Defog. So yeah, definitely
agree. Okay. So that is Sandslash. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. Sounds like I say Sigilyph, you say Sigilyph. I don't know which one's right. I don't think it matters.
Oh, I say both. I think I just against Sigilyph, but any other day I might have said Sigilyph.
Okay. So. Yeah, I have no idea. I really don't. But whatever. The other one we had was the Sylveon for the Porygon 2.
Yes.
I guess, let's see. I mean, the Sylveon, in terms of raw, how hard it hits, I don't think anything Porygon 2 does is going to hit as hard as like a Pixelate Hyper Voice.
Probably.
But his move pool is much better, even offensively. Just like an insane move pool. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah, so I think this is a really, really strong Pokemon. I don't remember if it was brought up last week when we were talking about the best Pokemon that were not picked, but
somebody
I think
did
Harrison might have himself brought it up. But I definitely think that's a very, very strong Pokemon. And I'd argue... This is just me. I don't like it more than Porygon Z. I like Porygon Z more, but I think it might be a stronger Pokemon. They tend to do different things, but I just think this thing as a defensive Pokemon, with an Eviolite, is really, really strong because it already has pretty good base defenses. It only has,
that's like Zapdos bulk. That's very close to like Zapdos-ish bulk. Like those are all similar numbers to what he has as bulk, and he's
and it's got a it's got an Eviolite on top of that, and it has only one weakness compared to the two I believe that Zapdos has. Which is still not a lot, but and a weakness to fighting is I'd say that's pretty good, especially since it's only a 2x weakness, and there's, as we've already established, a distinct lack of fighting types in our league.
Very true.
So, I think this thing is really strong. Having download to, if you switch into the right Pokemon, just immediately getting a power boost.
They're all like all of his ability. He could run any of his abilities, I think.
They're all decent. Like if he wanted to play against me, not to, I don't want to encourage anything, but if he wanted to play against me and we're in Sand and I have Sandslash out, he could switch in and then be a Sand Rush.
Sure, and then he doesn't even take the chip anymore. I believe those abilities negate the chip too.
Yeah, negating the chip, that's huge. Having analytics is big for having a... so it's a relatively slow Pokemon. Usually it's going to be moving second. So
60 is not particularly fast. Yeah, and I mean it's not like it's ever gonna. No one ever puts speed investment in their Porygon 2. But
no, it's too good on the bulky side. And that
I mean like it has, like I said, it has great. It has obviously it has Tri Attack, which is kind of going to be its maybe the most common one, but I mean it also gets Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Psychic, Ice Shock. So I mean it even gets Foul Play. I could see it running Foul Play. It does form a pretty good you mentioned defense. Him and Slowbro cover a lot of some of their weaknesses, and Slowbro covers the fighting weakness, and then Porygon covers the ghost weakness. So there's something there. Yeah. And they don't share.
And same with...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. I was going to say it also forms a really good core with Kofagrigus, which has not been again not been brought very well, but it covers one of Kofagrigus' two weaknesses. However, they are both really weak to knockoff.
Yeah.
Because Porygon 2 does not want to be losing a Eviolite, and Kofagrigus is just going to be taking big damage.
Yeah, basically all three. Well, both of his main. That is the one, I guess, negative synergy with Slowbro and Porygon 2 is they both really don't like to see knockoff.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't think it's the most common move throughout the league. Like, I'd have to check.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many Pokemon on each team really, like, or at least that would go on to playoffs have, like, access to it.
Kruk is probably one of the biggest offenders I'm thinking of. And he's going to be in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. The Electros and Mew both get it.
Yeah. I just assume Mew learns every move.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess what do you have that learns knockoff? I don't know.
Sableye and
Tangrowth. Yeah, you're right. Tangrowth, Sandslash, and Sableye. Yeah.
Sandslash. And then Austin has a Landorus, which gets knocked off. Donphan, he might be going to P2.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he does, but maybe Druddigon. I don't know if he learns knockoff.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
he does.
Maybe Druddigon. No. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Lando's a pretty prominent member. And then lastly, on the Pokemon team, I don't know all who does, but I know Drapion does.
Yep.
And he's brought him actually quite a bit.
Drapion, and I think it's Zelf. Yeah, Zelf gets it too. And then, maybe Empoleon.
You might be right, but yeah, Zelf definitely does. And you said Empoleon? Yep.
Yeah, I think Empoleon gets it. Yep.
We might see some few. So every team that he faces in the playoffs could have knockoff.
That's true.
And some strong ones. I mean, well, no, you're right, though. It's not like, have to, but yeah. So I don't know. That's Porygon 2. I guess the other thing I was thinking, he does lose, I think, a Wish Passer. So I don't know. There's something there. Also a Heal Beller. I think Sylveon learns Heal Bell or Aromatherapy or something, which, again,
yes.
I don't know if it matters, but it could be a...
Definitely does.
Yeah.
Does he get access to Heal Bell or Aromatherapy on anything else in his team?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Ooh. Oh, maybe Ninetales?
Yep, Ninetales does.
Okay, there we go. Well, yeah, if you get rid of Ninetales, then your status is there to stay.
Yeah, I think so. I think, he doesn't learn it, does he? Heal Bell. No, he does learn Teleport, though. I think it's really cool that both of his walls now have Teleport.
Yes, that's a really good core.
Yeah, I think...
Especially with one of them having Regenerator.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Probably not going to run Oblivious very often, but... all right, well, that's Porygon 2. Let's take a look at the upcoming games. So we'll skip yours, but we've got... I don't know what's the most important game, but this game is very important. We've got the Thundurus versus the Metagross. What do you think of that? We'll talk about the playoff implications after, just because that's kind of what we're talking about. But I don't know, anything in general on the matchup or the game or...
Let's see. Just trying to pick out some Pokemon. Reggialecki's probably not going to have the biggest game here. Well, I don't know. Actually, if you get rid of Excadrill, Reggialecki kind of mows through along this team.
Nothing. The only other resist he has would be the Arctozolt.
Right. Yeah, and then you could just Volt Switch out.
I'll say, and if you get in the bad matchup, he's fast enough that he can just Volt Switch out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could see Reggialecki coming. I don't know. He doesn't stand out to me though. From Austin's side, actually, the Thundurus, I guess I should say. Sawsbuck's actually pretty good. Nothing resists both of his stabs.
Oh yeah. Alolan Sandslash does.
You're right. But he can learn Stomping Tantrum.
Oh, yeah.
To hit it.
Doesn't it learn a fighting type move too?
It also learns like low kick or something. What does it learn? Hold on, where is this thing?
Maybe it was double kick. Because I thought last week we were like, oh, it might learn like jump kick, but I don't think it does.
Didn't it learn jump kick? No.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it learns double kick.
Imagine.
But
not the best way.
Yeah, but after an SD, I bet Stomping Tantrum kills it anyways.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. And obviously in the sun, it's going to outspeed everything. So, I don't know. Yeah, I could see Sawsbuck having a good game. In terms of this, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I think he definitely has to bring the sun.
Just to combat the weather.
Yeah, combat either the hail or the sand that Harrison's team's going to want to bring.
Sure. Okay, that's fair. Lando is kind of scary to bring against a hail team. But the Metagross are almost all physical attackers. So having access to Intimidate could be pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then
again,
yeah,
it's got the Ninetales to, which is naturally faster than.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Lander.
Yeah.
Will kill it with a blizzard easy if it doesn't have a focus sash.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it has a positive matchup against Gigalith, Excadrill. If it runs knockoff, it can probably beat the Porygon.
Beats Darm.
Beats Darm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. And what?
Oh no, I was just going to say Arctazol as well. If Arctazol's out of hail.
True.
If it's in hail, then definitely got to worry about it.
Yep, you are right about that. And then I guess the last thing, I was just looking defensively. I think Corsolas, he's been bringing it, but I think Corsolas pretty good here. He doesn't have a ton of things that actually learn knockoff on his team, I don't think. I think maybe Alolan Sandslash, which he's actually never brought. Kofag, which he's never brought, maybe. And what, does Darm learn it? I bet Darm learns it, huh?
I actually don't think Darm does.
No. Yeah, so he doesn't have a ton that can actually bring knockoff as far as I know. Excadrill doesn't learn it, does he? No.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've seen it.
There might be some random mon that I don't know here that learns it, but I'm just saying in general, not a lot of things do on the Metagross team, and he can kind of wall almost everything. Even I was doing some calcs earlier, an Excadrill in after +2 does just over 50%. So if he can switch in on the Swords Dance and Strength Sap whenever he earthquakes or something, he can I think he can keep living actually pretty easily. So I think he could have a hard. Go ahead.
Oh no! Sorry, I was just agreeing.
Yeah, I was say I think he could have a hard time breaking through. Course, even I was doing even Flare Blitz doesn't actually 2-hit KO from Darm, which is pretty impressive. Wow. Yeah, it's does 37 to if he's defensive. I guess I calc defensive, but yeah, it doesn't even do.
You got to worry about
what?
That's something you got to worry about when you're doing your damage calculations. Is always check to make sure. I don't know. Depending on how the matchup would be, if you would expect them to be defensive, it's pretty safe to calc for that and see what you do in each of those scenarios.
Yeah. I guess that kind of brings us to the other side. Darmanitan could have a huge game, especially if Austin brings the sun.
Right.
Because in the sun, Darmanitan has no switch-ins.
Sun Flare.
Yeah, Sun Boosted Flare Blitz, 2-hit KOs. I think everything in Pokemon that isn't Flash Fire. and maybe like Canyon, but like it 2-hit KOs everything, or 1-hit KOs. So
base 140 attack, and then
sheer force life orb.
Yep, sheer force life orb, or if you wanted to, be safe and maybe run a choice scarf.
Or a band. Give me the band. I'm not clicking anything but Flare Blitz anyways. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
So I think Darm could be good here. Excadrill also could be good here if he can kill the Corsola first, or at least get it low enough. Just because I don't think, I know I said this about the Sawsbuck, but I don't think anything resists both of his stabs. I don't think so, but so I think I don't know, he could be good here too. Slowbro's just okay, just because I don't know, all the electric type. He has 2 electric types and 2 grass types, so I don't know.
Yeah, Slowbro might have a little bit of difficulty here, but who knows? It's a really bulky Pokemon, mostly on the physical side though, and it looks like these, aside from Sawsbuck, most of these that really threaten him are going to be hitting from the special side.
Yeah.
So, Noivern's going to have a big game though.
Who? Noivern.
Let's say Noivern, because as we've established, he has 1 fairy type and no steel types.
True. Yeah.
So he wants to run
doesn't really have a Draco switch in. Let's actually count. Let's see. Let me see this. Let's see. So let's just do Noivern. Is this like specs? What is this? Well, Timid.
Why not specs?
We can do choice specs. Specs. And then we'll do modest because who cares? Just because I want to see the full power of this thing. Probably doesn't quite 2-hit KO. Let me see. It has a chance to 2-hit KO a Corsola.
Right.
But yeah.
Provided there's no strength snap in there.
There's no what? Strength.
Strength.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm thinking, when I think of 2-hit, I think 2-hit KOing is so important because oftentimes, like, you switch in your Corsola and then, so. And yeah, it looks like it has a 31% chance to 2-hit KO, but I mean, too, he can also be, he could be not fully physical too. If he runs 48 Spadef EVs, he lives guaranteed. But yeah, I don't know. Then he's not as bulky for like the Excadrill and stuff. So I don't know.
Right. He'll just have to
go ahead.
calc it and worth it.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think you're right. No fairy or steel type is pretty defensively. That's going to be. Oh wait, he has 1 fairy, but the fairy actually doesn't switch in well to Noivern anyways. Because of Hurricane.
Doesn't want to deal with a Hurricane or a Air Slash.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. That is the Thundurus and the Metagross. We also have the Monfernos and the Mudkips. Unfortunately, the one game this week that has 0 bearing on the playoffs. Let's see. The Mudkips versus the Monfernos. I guess I'm definitely 100% bringing Klefki just so I have something to take a Dragonite Outrage.
100%.
Just because that seems to be, and I don't think he's ran Earthquake on his Dragonite yet, so maybe you don't have to fear that.
And if you wanted to, just be extra safe, you could always run Air Balloon.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah, I would definitely bring, like, even if, like, I don't actually know. I mean, if Klefki's matchup is like okay here, I don't know, it's fine, but I definitely would bring it 100% just so I have like a clean Dragonite switch in. It's so good against Dragonite too, because like even if it takes an Earthquake, I don't think it dies in one shot, and it has Prankster Thunder Wave, so like I'm bringing that thing every time.
Totally triples it.
Yeah, and I am like not bringing it in. Like it is coming in when Dragonite comes in. I do not want it weakened by some random, like hydro pump or something. No, I want that thing at 100%. Come in, handle that thing for me.
Yeah, it's a really good Dragonite answer.
Yeah. So is probably the rain, just because the Kingdras can then, or Kingdra can then outspeed and like drop a Draco or click some dragon move or something.
Oh yeah, hit it with Outrage.
Yeah, hit it with Outrage. Pelipper too, I think, has an okay Dragonite matchup. I bet it doesn't get O-code by Outrage, and it learns Ice Beam, so
yeah,
it does well against Infernape too.
There's nothing on the Monferno's side that resists both water and dragon also. So, if he wants to start setting up a Dragon Dance Kingdra sweep, I think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I don't know, like, what does he learn? Like, he doesn't learn Ice Beam or something, does he?
Kingdra? Yeah, I'm sure he learns Ice Beam.
Oh, shoot. He could even learn Ice Beam.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, it also gets Hurricane for some reason.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think they gave it Hurricane this generation, if I'm not mistaken.
Just because I guess people like it in the rain, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good in the rain, so...
Okay.
I mean, I suppose if Twister's a Dragon-type move, then I suppose it's not too
why not?
out of the question to have Hurricane as a dragon. Yeah. But,
yeah, he seems to like it better physical, though, so maybe he won't bring Ice Beam. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but just Liquidation and Outrage hit his whole team, at least for neutral. And if you set up a couple Dragon Dances, you're probably O-Coing most of it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, gosh, Dragonite's so tricky just because of it living through multi-scale all the time, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's his side. From the other side... I mean, look, just kill the Klefki and sweep with Dragonite. Like, that would be the only thing on my mind, because nothing is really going to, actually nothing resists Dragon, right? Other than the Klefki. Am I missing?
On his team, is it just the Klefki? Oh yeah, Klefki and Jirachi.
Yeah. So my goal would be, I don't know, click Earthquakes on some stuff, click Fire moves. I don't know, kill Jirachi and Klefki, and then sweep with my Dragonite. That's it. I don't think anything.
There you go. And I think Infernape would be definitely good for dealing with those steel types, and
kind of scary against Jirachi just because of the psychic, but yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could always run Focus Sash, but you're right. Maybe not the best.
No, it's just you can't switch into it. But they can like one-on-one Infernape probably wins for sure, but and
then you got the Thunderous as well, which gets Prankster. You could hit if you were worried about Kingdra, you could always hit the Prankster Thunder Wave, and kind of shut that thing down a bit.
Yeah, true.
So I think Thunderous could be good here as well.
For sure. Yeah, Thunderous. Yeah, I mean, he has one immunity to, two if he brings Jolteon. I guess he has two, the Claydol and the Jolteon. Chansey probably completely eats up a Thunderous would be the only thing I would be concerned about. I don't think Chansey cares about anything Thunderous can do.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if it wanted to run like Specs Thunder in the rain or something, definitely. I know he likes to run Thunder. Yeah. On his Thunderous, so I think it would be a good. I definitely think it would be good in this matchup where there's going to be rain, so you're going to get those 100% accurate.
He also actually learns Knockoff, so maybe I spoke too soon. But
like
Knockoff into Brick Break. Like he could even run a physical.
Does it get superpower? I think most of them.
It does.
Yeah, the genes get superpower. So yeah, you could always run physical Thundurus if you wanted to.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I mean, he loves Nasty Plot on it. Nasty Plot Thunder. What does it do? +2.
Ooh.
Thundurus. We'll see you Nasty Plot versus Chansey. Okay, it's still not going to hurt it at all. So let's say it's what? Yeah, I'll give it +2 and I'll change it to Thunder, but this ain't gonna hurt. It does 31 to 37%.
That's not even special investment. Yikes! Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fun.
I mean, this is exactly what Chansey is designed to do, is stop these mons. So, I mean, it makes sense, but it is funny that, like, what does it do at +6? 2-hit KOs at +6, but still.
It only 2-hit KOs.
Yeah.
That's not, Chansey's just strong. And again, no special defense investment there.
There's 8. There's 8 special investments, sir. Please be kind.
I'm watching on a small screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, not much though. But yeah, it is funny how Chansey just shuts those guys down. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that is the Mudkips versus the Monfernos. In the last game, I mean, I guess to be frank, I expect this game to not be close, but it's the Pokemon team versus the Bidoofs.
Right. And Cloyster.
Yeah, Cloyster.
I could see it leading. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my one concern about Cloyster actually is, I mean, it lowers its defenses, and then Mach Punch, I did the calcs on this, does a minimum of like 80-something%. From Conkeldurr.
All right, never mind. That does not surprise me from Conkeldurr.
Yeah, so I was like, well, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Like, it does well against quite a bit here, especially if it runs Rock Blast looking at the Lapras. Otherwise, it does nothing to Lapras. But
oh, true.
But
water absorb.
Yeah. Well, even if it's not water absorb, I mean, it's
4 times resist ice. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it hits most other things. It could bring like Unaware Clefable for it too.
Yeah.
But
that could be a good call.
But yeah, just the Mach Punch from the Conk would make me at least I would make sure I kill that thing first before I decide to try to set up.
And again, he has not brought Conk once.
No, he hasn't. I think it's crazy, and I don't think Machamp learns Mach Punch.
Learns Bullet Punch.
It learns Bullet Punch, which doesn't hit super effective, unfortunately, and doesn't get stabbed.
Priority, man.
Yeah, it is priority. It'll do some damage, but it won't do nearly as much as the Mach Punch does.
Especially with Iron Fist or Guts on Conkeldurr.
Yeah, and that I guess I should say I did. I was calcing Guts Flame Orb Conkeldurr.
Right.
So, yeah, I should say that.
Yep,
but still,
-1, it does a minimum of 80.
80 like 4. Let me see something here. I'll run it. Let's see. Conkeldurr Guts versus Cloyster. Yeah, you'll see here it does 50-something to 70-something, and then if I make it -1 defense.
Wow.
Yeah, it does 84. So it could OHKO, but it does not guarantee. I mean, his defense is actually insane.
Yeah, I mean, having base 180, right?
Yeah, like it's
that's really high, and even though it's the HP is not the greatest. Yeah, I see why, but it's still surprising that at -1, from Conkeldurr, much like Darmanitan, base 140 attack, doesn't kill with a Mach Punch. Then again, I'm used to using Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Tyranitar
gets killed by Mach Punch. Fair.
Thing type breed. So.
Yeah. So yeah. that's my thoughts on Cloyster. I'd probably bring in Polion. It does pretty well against the Gyarados set specifically that he brings every time, which is Ice Fang,
Right.
Dragon Dance, Power Whip, and Waterfall, I think.
Waterfall.
So Cloyster gives you like a really kind of a pretty good answer to that. I don't know if you learn anything that can hit it like super hard, but I don't know. I Scald, like I'd probably just bring it in and click Scald until I burn it.
Burn it, yeah.
It also like gives him something to threaten Clef, just because it can run like Flash Cannon or something.
Oh yeah, it is a Steel type.
Yeah, and then the last one I want to talk about from his side, from the Pokemon team side, is Garchomp's really, really good here. It's faster than everything, other than the Greninja. So if he can either kill or weaken the Greninja, or if he gets a scale shot up, after an SD, I think he kills like everything on the team. With like scale shot, rock slide, earthquake, and dragon dance or swords dance.
Well, maybe unaware Clefable again. You know, that's
if he brings unaware Clef.
Yeah, you could always run
poison jab,
Iron Head or poison jab.
Yeah,
for that Clefable,
for sure.
Just in case. I think poison jab's probably better.
Maybe. I mean, you get to hit the Rhyperior for super effective, but Earthquake already is. You get to hit the.
Yeah. I was thinking poison jab. You hit Alolan Exeggutor, but you hit that without. So.
Sure. Yeah. Or
I suppose it doesn't really matter. It's just whatever your preference is.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'd probably try to bring some kind of setup plan with the. Whatever his name is, the Garchomp, just because I don't know, it like outspeeds everything except for one thing. And then on the other side, I don't know. Like I said, either I think Calm Mind Clef could be really good here if he can get rid of like Drapion. And probably the Cloyster too. The Cloyster can probably set up in its face and then click a really strong physical move and maybe kill it. But other than that, well, you're right. If he's unaware, you don't care. But I think typically Magic Guard's a little bit better. But I guess maybe if
they're both strong. But both abilities are strong. But I think you're right. Usually you would probably want to run Magic Guard. Then again, it is matchup specific. So. You know that Zeke likes to set up, so maybe that's a good time to run the unaware. Yeah,
the only thing I think you would run, I think if you run unaware, then you just lose to Blissey. I think, because I bet even at like +6, you don't do that much.
Right.
So I don't know, like because the Blissey then could just toxic you and then just switch around, and I don't know. I think it could make it difficult.
Yeah.
That would be so I think he just kind of has to pick which Mon he's more comfortable losing to, or which Mon he thinks he has a better matchup against with the Clef.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of what I got here. I guess Gyarados okay against Gyarados. Gyarados is okay here. Serp does pretty well against his set. I know he runs Ice Fang, but I don't know, he'll eat the Power Whips and the whatever it's called, the Power Whips and the Waterfalls. Volcanion will do good against him too. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, Volcanion completely walls that Gyarados set that he likes to run. Again, he could switch it up and bring Earthquake.
Yeah, and I mean Power Whip will hit it a little bit. I mean it'll do something, but yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean Earthquake's probably better here in this matchup too, but he's never brought it. So actually, I'd if anything, just get rid of Ice Fang. I think I'd rather have. Well, I don't know. Gosh, you're playing Garchomp though. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you want to have something specifically for Garchomp. Like I know, whenever I play a Garchomp or a Landorus, I definitely want to have ice moves when I have the opportunity.
For sure. Okay. Those are all of the games.
All right.
Let's jump real quick. I broke this up into basically what can happen, and so like the different people that can make the playoffs. So if Austin wins, or Austin loses by 1 and Zeke wins by 1, or Zeke loses and you win, Justice. Here, actually, I'm just going to put this up on the screen. It's probably better.
Sure.
Let's see. Probably easier to read. Yeah, okay. Here, I'll put it. What I'll do is this. So, if Austin wins, so basically, yeah, Austin has to win or lose by 1 and Zeke win by 1, or Zeke lose and you win, then you, Harrison, Gabe, and Austin make the playoffs. I didn't figure out like the seeding, just because that would have been like that could change a lot. But basically,
it's too much to really prepare for.
Yeah, basically, you 4 would make the playoffs. If Austin loses by more than 1 and Zeke wins by more than 1, then it's you, Harrison, Gabe, and Zeke. And then there's one more, and it's if Austin wins and you lose by 4 and Zeke wins by 6, or you lose by 5 and he wins by 5, or you lose by 6 and he wins by 4, then it's Zeke, Harrison, Gabe, and Austin. And that is it. Like, those are all, I think, gosh, I'm saying this, and I think those are all of the different, like, things that can play out.
Right.
I don't know which one. I was trying to figure out, like, which one I think is the most likely. I think this one's the least likely, just because basically it requires 2 big, like, you need to lose really bad. And I just don't anticipate that. So I think this one's the least likely.
I'm hoping not to lose that badly. But then again, if I lose that badly, then everybody else deserves to make it to playoffs. So.
Fair. Yeah, you have a very high differential. So if you win, like, for example, if you win and Austin wins, you're the 1 seed. So if this happens and you win, you become the 1 seed, just because Harrison will have obviously his differential won't have given up because Austin beat him, and then your differential and then Gabe's won't go up either because you beat Gabe. So in that case, I just know you would be the 1 seed, and I don't know how the rest of it would shake out. It just depends on how much people lose by and whatnot. But I don't know. I think, gosh, I don't know what's more likely between the other two.
I know.
I think, gosh, I don't know. Like, Austin loses by more than 1 and Zeke wins by more than 1. That seems really likely, just because, I mean, I think it's almost guaranteed that Zeke is going to win by a lot. And then it's just, does Austin lose? But I don't know. It's kind of, I guess it's basically just if Austin wins or Austin loses, is kind of, I think, what matters the most here.
I don't really see Zeke winning by any less than maybe 4, if I'm being really.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I'm like being like very generous to Hunter, I could see him taking 2.
Right.
So I think this one's like, so I think this right here basically like isn't going to happen, but the rest could. Well, or these 2. I don't think Zeke's going to lose either. So I think it's basically Austin wins, and Justice wins, or Austin. And then it's funny, like, it doesn't actually matter if you win or lose. That's why it doesn't have anything here. You would still make the playoffs if Austin loses by more than 1 and Zeke wins by more than 1. So because the worst I could lose is -6, and you go to 11.
17, you go to 11, which is still higher than
what Austin would be at. Yeah,
Austin's current differential. So for the top one, I could I could also lose by 3 or less.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and so that would have to be. It would be I lose by 3 or less, or I win.
Sure. So like this, lose. Justice loses by 3 or less. Yeah, there might be something else too, but I'm just saying these are kind of what I think.
These are more the outcomes.
Yeah, I think this is what matters here. Really, is whether Austin wins or whether Austin loses. I think that will determine the most this week.
He's got to play really hard this week, but I think, like you were saying, Galarian Forcelet does really well in this matchup.
It does. It does, for sure. It could be big here.
It's going to run Nightshade this time instead of an offensive calm mindset, because I think your best bet against a very offensive player like Harrison might be running very defensive. Now, obviously, he can do whatever he wants, and whatever he.
Calm Mind plus Strength Sap is kind of a cool combo, just because then it becomes really hard to kill you.
Right.
But no, I know what you're saying. Like it. I think a lot of times you run a Nightshade, but I don't know. Maybe
just
he could run.
Special.
Yeah, maybe he could run like Toxic too, just because I could see just wanting to Toxic everything down, or because I mean Strength Sap does a lot of what your burn's gonna do anyways.
Yes. Right. So maybe don't need Will-O-Wisp there. Then again, if you want something a little bit more permanent, because that's going to hurt Excadrill for the whole game.
True.
It's going to hurt Gigalith, even though Gigalith is a little bit more of a supportive Pokemon. It still has a really high. So
for sure.
Darm doesn't care about Will-O-Wisp though.
Nope.
But it does care about Strength Sap.
It does. It does. So I don't know, maybe run like, Strength Sap. Gosh, I really think I would run Toxic just so I can beat like the Slowbro and the Porygon. I wonder if he learns. Does I don't think he learns like Aromatherapy or Heal Bell, does he? It'd actually be pretty cool.
I would be surprised if it did.
No, it doesn't. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, if it could really be good against those walls. But
yeah,
I don't know if he'd actually. I don't know if any of these things do. I really don't. Maybe something. Oh, I bet this thing does, huh?
Oh, Whimsicott definitely learns Aroma. What?
It doesn't.
That is shocking.
Wow. That surprises me. Maybe.
Oh, 19 Heal Bell, I'm sure.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah. Oh, no, it doesn't.
No. Wow. He has no way to remove status on his whole team? I mean, it's like a Lumberry?
Yeah, he could run Lumberry. I don't know. Like
maybe Salzbuck does Aromatherapy?
It does.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. There's your status remover.
Yeah, sure. Maybe. If you say so. So I guess he could do that. Yeah, he could run Lumberry. He could run Rest. Is another option, but
Rest Sleep Talk or Rest Chesto.
Yeah, something like that, and then don't really care. Then he's probably never losing to some of those guys. But I don't think Slowbro could ever kill him then. But all right.
Well, actually, I think Donphan does well this time around. I love Donphan, and I think it can knock off the Slowbro. Granted, it probably wants to catch it switching in.
Sure. Knock off the
and handles the physical attackers really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean,
just doesn't want to take an ice beam.
He doesn't, but he actually does pretty well. Just looking at it's a positive Excadrill matchup, a positive Gigalith matchup, a positive. Well, as long as the hail's not up, positive against probably these two. Darm, he beats one-on-one. So I think Donphan's actually pretty good here. I think you're right. Does it outspeed? Let's see. I'm sure this thing's gonna be like max speed. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if it does? I don't think it does have higher base speed. I think it's like 45.
It's 50. Yeah. I don't think Icicle Crash Oko's a Dawn fan anyways.
No, not. I think it's got like 120 defense.
It has a very
or something
good defense stat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it will. And I mean, it has a pretty good HP stat. So, and I mean, I bet though an EQ does Oko just because. Are his defenses? Are his defenses good?
Yeah.
They're pretty
it's not
good.
bad.
Yeah, so maybe it would.
90. But I don't know. Dawn Fan hits really hard too. 120 base attack versus Earthquake, which is a higher base power move than Icicle Crashes.
True.
It's definitely doing more with Earthquake than it is with than Arctic Soul is with Icicle Crash. Barring any sort of boosting moves, obviously.
Yeah, it does. It for sure. This is offensive though, so hold on. Let's assume this is like a weird. I mean, even at 0 HP, that's adamant though. Let's really make sure it's. Oh wait, that's bold. I'd want to be like impish. Sure. I mean, it's gonna do quite a bit. Yeah.
And if rocks are up, it's a guaranteed kill anyway.
True. Well, yeah, especially because it takes 25%.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah, so I agree. I think Dawn Fan might be pretty good here, too. Gives you a knockoff user, too, which I think could be really good against Porygon.
And a spinner.
And a spinner, which, yeah, sure. And gives you something that doesn't take sand damage.
Yeah, I think that could be I love Dawn Fan. I wish it would be performing a little bit better. Then again,
it only came once.
If it did perform. Oh yeah, it came against me. Is that the only time?
No, you know what? I think you're right. I think it came 2 times now. Let me take a look. Oops, I'm way zoomed in. Oh my gosh, am I not zoomed in? I feel like I'm way zoomed in. Baltimore, the Thunderous. Oh, he's came 3 times. He's done 88 damage. He's got a kill. He's only died once.
That's good.
Yeah, to be fair, if he was sturdy, that could have been rough for you. I'm sure you.
Yes, and if he led Dawn Fan, I know we were talking about that in Discord, after that week. But if he had led Dawn Fan, my Swampert would have been out, and he might have won that game.
Yeah.
So, that definitely would have been really big for Dawn Fan.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I'm really impressed by, the fact that he ran those speed EVs to make sure that he outsped my Swampert and I believe my Tyranitar as well. I thought that was really, really cool of him.
Yeah, it was a good idea. And it kind of worked. It almost worked.
It almost worked. If I didn't bring the Swampert set that I brought, then I would have, I definitely would have lost Swampert at least. And I'm fairly confident I might have lost the game. So.
Yeah, you might. That Swampert did a lot for you. I don't remember. I just remember it did a lot of damage that week. But
yeah, it was definitely the MVP for that week.
For sure.
But
well. All right.
One last thing.
Yeah.
It gets Ice Shard, which will almost definitely 2-hit KO Noivern.
Very good point.
Depending on your offensive investment, it might open Noivern.
Very good point. I will check that out. Really, it's funny. We said that this was going to be a short one. We are at an hour and 17 minutes. But you are right. It was 0 attack investment impish. It 2-hit KOs, like no problem.
That's big.
If it's adamant, like max attack, this thing's gonna be doing like 80. Yeah, it does 70 to 83 at max attack adamant. So, but it does die in one shot to a Draco. Though, if you can Ice Shard on the switch, or if he's worn down from rocks, or just I don't know.
Or if you want to just put some special defense investment into Dawn Fan.
Sure.
You can do that.
You could do that too. That is allowed.
Make sure you outlive. Yeah. Make sure you outlive. You live a Draco. Then you can hit it twice with Ice Shard. It's.
Yeah.
Basically, I would imagine that if Noivern's in, and it takes an Ice Shard, and it doesn't kill with Draco, that Noivern's going to be switching out, and then maybe you get a Draco.
Yeah. He needs at least, by the way, 68 special defense EVs plus a positive special defense nature to guarantee limit. But
okay, well, you could maybe, I don't know, if you ran like adamant max attack or something like that, and then you ran like max special defense.
Yeah, I mean 68's not that much. You could still run. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You don't have to do a plus attack nature as long as you're 2-hit KOing it.
Yeah, you're 2-hit KOing it. Let's actually take a look. But again, this is assuming you actually don't need any attack investment whatsoever to 2-hit KO it, assuming it's running like no bulk.
Right.
But I mean, if it runs, I don't know. It has to run at least 68 HP, or no, 72. 72. That's actually a lot. 72 HP EVs to have,
make it
not guaranteed, but it still has a 99.6% chance. So you have to run quite a bit of investment actually if he wants to not get 2-hit KO'd by this thing. So
yeah. Yeah, all right. Just wanted to throw that out there.
No, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
And it's Ice Shard, and I'm sure it matches up well. And then I saw Noivern, and I was like, oh yeah, Noivern's that's a big story about. So
for sure.
Yeah,
you're right. All right. Well, yeah, we said it'd be short. We lied. But that's okay. That's a good conversation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Justice, for being on. This is, well, I don't know. I guess we'll keep going in the playoffs, but I was going to say this might be our last one, but I guess we still got a few left. So, yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about, we'll definitely have to at least recap.
Week 7, for sure.
Going into playoffs, so.
Definitely. And talk about MVP and stuff.
Yeah, our last full regular season Pokemon Center.
Yep.
So, been good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being on, man. Appreciate it. I know it's late, so yeah, thanks for giving me some of your time.
Yeah, it's all good. Always love talking.
Yeah, no, it's fun. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.